Every night, millions of seniors unknowingly engage in habits that quietly raise their risk of a heart attack. These behaviors may seem harmless, even comforting, but research shows they can disturb blood pressure, trigger dangerous stress hormones, and strain the heart when it needs rest the most. Heart attacks are not just the result of genetics or daytime activities. Often, the hidden choices we make at night play a powerful role. In this video, you will discover 6 of the most common nighttime habits that silently increase the chances of a heart attack in seniors. By recognizing these patterns, you can begin to change them and protect your heart in simple, natural ways. Stay tuned, because what you learn today could save your life or the life of someone you love. 1. Eating heavy meals. Late at night. One of the most common nighttime mistakes that quietly stresses the heart is eating large, heavy meals too close to bedtime. For many seniors, dinner ends up being the biggest meal of the day. Sometimes it's because breakfast and lunch are light or skipped altogether. Sometimes it's because family gathers in the evening, and food becomes not just nourishment, but comfort and connection. While this feels natural, the timing and size of that meal can put enormous strain on the body when it needs rest the most. When you eat a heavy dinner late at night, your digestive system is forced into overdrive. Instead of winding down, your stomach and intestines are breaking down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. This digestive effort raises blood flow to the gut, increases body temperature, and keeps the nervous system alert at a time when it should be quieting down. For seniors, this means the heart must pump harder and longer, working against the body's natural circadian rhythm. Studies show that late-night eating is strongly linked to higher blood pressure and elevated resting heart rate, both of which increase the likelihood of a nighttime heart attack. Another hidden danger is acid reflux. When you lie down soon after a large meal, stomach acid can easily flow back into the esophagus. That burning sensation isn't just uncomfortable, it creates stress signals in the body. The discomfort often triggers poor quality sleep, frequent awakenings, and spikes in nighttime blood pressure. For people already living with high cholesterol, diabetes, or a history of heart disease, this extra stress can be dangerous. Metabolism also slows down in the evening, meaning your body processes calories less efficiently at night. Heavy meals filled with fatty meats, fried foods, or sugary desserts are more likely to raise blood sugar and triglycerides overnight. This combination fuels inflammation and plaque buildup in the arteries, silent processes that set the stage for heart attacks over time. Seniors, whose metabolism is already slower than in younger years, are especially vulnerable to these effects. What makes late-night meals even riskier is the impact on sleep. Instead of deep, restorative rest, the body spends hours juggling digestion, discomfort, and hormonal imbalances. Poor sleep is not just about feeling tired the next day. It raises cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn elevates blood pressure and blood sugar. This cascade makes the heart more fragile in the early morning hours when most heart attacks occur. The solution is not to skip dinner altogether, but to shift how and when it is eaten. Aim for the last large meal at least 3 hours before bedtime, giving your body time to digest. Choose lighter, heart-friendly foods such as vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. If hunger strikes later, a small snack like a handful of almonds or a piece of fruit is far gentler on the heart than a full plate of rich food. Seniors who make this adjustment often notice better sleep, improved digestion, and steadier morning energy. By making dinner lighter and earlier, you allow the heart to rest during the hours it needs it most. It's a simple shift, but one that can protect the heart from unnecessary strain and lower the risk of nighttime heart attacks. 2. Drinking alcohol before bed. For many seniors, an evening drink feels like a small comfort at the end of the day. A glass of wine with dinner, a shot of whiskey to relax, or even a nightcap before bed can become routine. It may feel harmless, even beneficial, since some people believe alcohol helps them unwind and sleep more easily. But what the body experiences is very different. In reality, drinking alcohol before bed is one of the most harmful nighttime habits for the heart, especially in older adults. Alcohol has a deceptive effect on sleep. At first, it acts like a sedative, making you drowsy and helping you fall asleep faster. But as it metabolizes, alcohol disrupts the natural sleep cycle. Instead of the deep, restorative stages of rest that the heart depends on, the night becomes fragmented. Seniors who drink before bed often wake up more frequently, toss and turn, and experience shallower sleep overall. Poor quality sleep raises blood pressure, increases heart rate, and keeps the nervous system on high alert. Over time, this chronic disruption becomes a serious risk factor for heart disease and sudden nighttime cardiac events. Alcohol also acts as a direct stressor on the cardiovascular system. It raises blood pressure in both the short and long term, stiffens the blood vessels, and promotes irregular heart rhythms such as atrial fibrillation. This irregular heartbeat can feel like palpitations or skipped beats, but in seniors, it can also silently raise the chance of stroke and heart attack. Even moderate amounts of alcohol before bed can set the stage for these rhythm disturbances during the night. Another hidden danger is alcohol's impact on blood sugar and cholesterol. Many alcoholic drinks contain sugars and empty calories that spike glucose levels before sleep. For seniors managing diabetes or prediabetes, this nighttime spike followed by a crash can be especially dangerous. At the same time, regular drinking contributes to higher triglycerides and fatty buildup in the liver, which adds more strain on the heart. Alcohol is also a diuretic, meaning it increases the urge to urinate during the night. Waking up multiple times to use the bathroom interrupts sleep, dehydrates the body, and causes further strain on the cardiovascular system. Dehydration thickens the blood, making it harder for the heart to pump and increasing the risk of clot formation. In seniors with narrowed arteries, this can be a silent trigger for heart attacks in the early morning hours. The combination of disrupted sleep, raised blood pressure, irregular rhythms, and dehydration makes alcohol before bed a powerful risk factor that is often underestimated. While an occasional celebratory drink earlier in the evening is unlikely to cause major harm, making alcohol a nightly bedtime habit can quietly erode heart health over time. A safer choice is to replace the nightcap with calming alternatives that truly support rest without harming the heart. Herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, or rooibos soothe the body and promote relaxation naturally. A glass of warm milk, gentle stretching, or even listening to calming music can provide the same comfort without the risks. Seniors who make this change often report deeper sleep, steadier morning energy, and improved blood pressure readings. By letting go of alcohol before bed, you are giving your heart the calm environment it needs to repair and recharge overnight. It's a small decision that can have a profound impact on reducing the risk of heart attacks and preserving long-term health. 3. Staying up too late or having an irregular sleep schedule. Sleep is one of the most powerful protectors of the heart, yet it is also one of the most overlooked. For seniors, the body's need for regular, restorative sleep is even greater because natural repair processes slow down with age. Unfortunately, many older adults fall into the habit of staying up too late, watching television, scrolling through devices, or simply pushing bedtime later and later. Others fall asleep at random times, taking long naps during the day and then struggling to rest at night. This irregular sleep pattern quietly increases the risk of heart attacks in ways that often go unnoticed. When the body is deprived of consistent sleep, stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated. These hormones are designed to keep the body alert in emergencies, but when they stay high, night after night, they place constant pressure on the heart. Blood pressure rises, blood vessels constrict, and heart rate remains higher than normal. Seniors living under this hormonal stress are more likely to experience heart rhythm disturbances and sudden cardiac events, particularly in the early morning hours. An irregular sleep schedule also disrupts the circadian rhythm, the body's natural internal clock. This rhythm controls not just sleep, but also blood pressure, metabolism, and hormone release. When seniors stay up late one night and go to bed early the next, the heart and other organs struggle to adjust. Research shows that people with inconsistent sleep patterns have a higher risk of hypertension, obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. For those already living with heart conditions, irregular sleep can worsen existing problems and reduce the heart's ability to repair itself overnight. Another hidden danger of staying up too late is the lifestyle choices that often accompany it. Late nights are more likely to include snacking on unhealthy foods, drinking caffeinated beverages, or consuming alcohol. These habits add further strain to the heart and create a cycle of poor sleep, high blood pressure, and weight gain. Even when seniors manage to sleep in the next morning, the quality of rest is not the same as going to bed at a regular hour. The body loses its opportunity for the deep, restorative sleep stages that usually occur earlier in the night. The consequences of irregular sleep extend beyond physical health. Seniors who don't follow a consistent sleep schedule often experience memory problems, mood swings, and difficulty concentrating. These mental and emotional strains create additional stress, which again raises the risk of cardiovascular issues. In contrast, seniors who establish a steady routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, enjoy more stable blood pressure, better energy, and a calmer nervous system. The solution is not complicated, but it does require discipline. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night, going to bed and waking up around the same time, even on weekends. Create a calming bedtime routine, such as reading, listening to soothing music, or gentle stretching. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals late in the evening. Over time, this rhythm strengthens the body's internal clock and gives the heart the stability it needs. By respecting the body's natural need for rest and routine, seniors can dramatically reduce the silent, nighttime risks that lead to heart attacks. A consistent sleep schedule is not just about feeling rested, it is about giving the heart its best chance to heal, recover, and remain strong for years to come. 4. Excessive use of electronic devices before sleep. In today's world, it is almost impossible to escape screens. Televisions, smartphones, tablets, and laptops have become part of daily life, even in the hours before bed. For many seniors, the evening routine involves watching the news, scrolling through social media, or playing games on a tablet to pass the time. While this may seem like a harmless way to relax, using electronic devices before sleep is one of the most damaging habits for heart health. The first problem comes from the light emitted by screens. Phones, tablets, and even bright televisions release a type of light called blue light, which tricks the brain into thinking it is still daytime. This light suppresses the natural production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep. Without enough melatonin, falling asleep becomes more difficult, and the quality of rest is reduced. Seniors who spend their evenings on devices often experience delayed sleep, lighter rest, and more frequent awakenings during the night. Poor quality sleep directly affects the heart by raising blood pressure, disturbing heart rhythms and increasing inflammation. Another danger of late-night screen use is the stimulation it creates. Whether it is reading stressful news, engaging in online discussions, or playing interactive games, the brain becomes activated rather than relaxed. This mental stimulation keeps stress hormones high, raising heart rate and preventing the body from entering a calm state before bed. Over time, the combination of elevated stress, poor sleep, and high nighttime blood pressure significantly increases the risk of heart attack in seniors. Prolonged use of devices also leads to physical effects that burden the cardiovascular system. Sitting for hours in one position reduces circulation, leading to swelling in the legs and ankles. This can worsen existing problems, such as high blood pressure or heart failure. Some seniors also experience neck and back strain from poor posture during device use, creating additional physical stress that disrupts sleep. All of these factors combine to make the heart work harder during the night, when it should be resting and repairing. The psychological effects of screen use are equally concerning. Studies show that people who spend long hours on devices before bed report higher levels of anxiety, loneliness, and depression. These emotions not only make sleep more difficult, but also raise cortisol, the stress hormone that damages blood vessels and increases cardiovascular risk. Seniors who are already managing chronic conditions like hypertension or diabetes are especially vulnerable to these effects. The good news is that small changes can reverse much of this damage. Experts recommend turning off electronic devices at least 1 hour before bedtime. Instead of scrolling or watching television late at night, seniors can shift to calming activities such as reading a physical book, listening to soft music, or practicing gentle breathing exercises. Creating a dimly lit, screen-free environment helps the brain produce melatonin naturally, leading to deeper and more restorative sleep. By reducing screen use before bed, seniors allow their hearts to enter a state of true rest. Sleep becomes more refreshing, stress levels drop, and blood pressure stabilizes overnight. Over time, this simple adjustment can protect against heart strain and lower the risk of sudden nighttime cardiac events. It is not just about avoiding screens. It is about giving the body and heart the peace they need to thrive. 5. Ignoring sleep apnea or snoring. Snoring is often brushed off as a harmless annoyance, but for many seniors it can be a signal of something far more dangerous: sleep apnea. This condition causes breathing to repeatedly stop and start during the night, often without the person realizing it. While it may sound like just a sleep disturbance, untreated sleep apnea is one of the strongest nighttime triggers for heart attacks in older adults. Each pause in breathing deprives the body of oxygen. When oxygen levels drop, the brain sends signals to jolt the body awake, even if only for a split second. This repeated stress raises blood pressure, accelerates heart rate, and keeps the nervous system in a constant state of alarm. For seniors who may already have weakened arteries or heart disease, these nightly surges in pressure can increase the risk of arrhythmias, strokes, and sudden cardiac arrest. What makes sleep apnea especially dangerous is that many people are unaware they have it. They may dismiss their loud snoring, frequent awakenings, or morning fatigue as just part of aging. In reality, these are warning signs that the heart is under strain night after night. Over time, untreated sleep apnea contributes to hypertension, diabetes, weight gain, and worsening heart failure, all conditions that make heart attacks more likely. The good news is that sleep apnea is highly treatable. Diagnosis often begins with a simple sleep study, where breathing patterns, oxygen levels, and heart activity are monitored overnight. For those with moderate to severe sleep apnea, a CPAP machine, which gently delivers air pressure to keep the airway open, can dramatically reduce symptoms and lower cardiovascular risk. Even lifestyle changes, such as losing weight, avoiding alcohol before bed, or sleeping on the side instead of the back, can make a big difference. Ignoring snoring or brushing off fatigue as normal aging is a mistake that can cost dearly. Seniors who address sleep apnea not only improve their quality of rest, but also protect their heart from unnecessary nighttime stress. Better oxygen, steadier blood pressure, and deeper sleep all translate into a stronger heart and a lower risk of sudden heart attack. 6. Going to bed. Stressed or anxious. Stress during the day is almost impossible to avoid, but carrying that stress into the night can quietly damage the heart. For seniors, going to bed with unresolved worries, anxious thoughts, or lingering tension is more than just a recipe for poor sleep. It creates a state of constant alertness that keeps the body's stress response switched on at the very time it should be winding down. When stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated at night, the heart beats faster and blood pressure stays high. Instead of resting, the cardiovascular system works overtime. This constant state of arousal prevents deep, restorative sleep and leaves the heart vulnerable to strain during the early morning hours, the period when heart attacks are most likely to occur. Emotional stress also contributes to unhealthy nighttime behaviors. Some seniors cope with anxiety by eating late, drinking alcohol, or spending extra hours on television and devices. These coping mechanisms only add more strain, creating a cycle of poor sleep and rising cardiovascular risk. Left unchecked, this pattern can accelerate heart disease, weaken immunity, and increase the chance of sudden cardiac events. The mind and heart are more connected than most people realize. Studies show that people who go to bed with high levels of anxiety or unresolved stress have a higher risk of developing arrhythmias, high blood pressure, and heart attacks. The brain's constant worry signals trigger the body's fight or flight response, even during sleep, making it impossible for the heart to fully recover. The solution is to adopt calming rituals that signal to the body it is time to rest. Gentle breathing exercises, listening to soothing music, or practicing gratitude journaling before bed can ease the nervous system and lower blood pressure. Herbal teas, such as chamomile or peppermint, can also promote relaxation. Just as importantly, keeping a consistent routine, going to bed and waking at the same time each day, helps train the body and mind to release tension and embrace rest. By ending the day with calm rather than stress, seniors give their hearts the chance to repair, recover, and recharge.